Holy, he said, what? Did Buckingham Palace, or even Prince William himself, set a clever trap for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle? And did the couple actually stumble right into it? Harry once admitted with a heavy heart, "I might not be able to show my children my homeland." The irony of that statement has become almost laughable. Once celebrated as the fresh, modern face of royalty, Meghan and Harry have now turned into the world's favorite punchline. They left the palace claiming they desperately wanted privacy, yet somehow, they've given more interviews, produced more documentaries, and written more tell-all books than any working royal in recent history. Harry has said, "When you've been lied about for years, the pain is unbearable." But to the public, that plea for privacy has started to sound like nothing more than code for "let's cash in on every grievance we can." And Meghan? She's been accused of treating even her children as bargaining chips. Some whisper that photos of Archie and Lilibet only appear when enough zeros are written on a check. She strode into the royal household as if she could rewrite centuries of tradition, only to discover that Buckingham Palace doesn't bow to Netflix deals or podcast sponsors. Critics even claim Meghan sees her children as commercial assets, a disturbing thought. And poor Harry, once the cheeky, beloved prince, now reduced to a sidekick in his own life story. Dragged onto California talk shows, he looks like a man who traded a crown for kombucha. The irony is heartbreaking. They said they wanted to shield Archie and Lilibet from the glare of royal life, yet they've shoved them into the spotlight whenever it suited the narrative. Prince William has reportedly had enough. Tired of his brother's wild accusations, he's determined to uphold the crown's traditions. When William becomes king, many insiders believe he will strip Harry's children of their HRH titles for good. It's like smashing a brick through someone's window, and then asking them to invite you in for tea. And the contradictions never end. One moment Meghan is in tears about the unbearable hardship of royal duties, the next, she's posing as a global humanitarian icon wrapped in couture gowns. Meanwhile Harry insists he's defending his family's dignity, while selling their most private secrets to the highest bidder. For years, the palace stayed silent, watching this circus. But that silence has now broken. And what they revealed about Archie and Lilibet cuts deeper than any interview Meghan could ever stage. Some royal experts argue, if Meghan didn't give birth herself, or if Harry wasn't directly involved, then their children can't possibly stand in the royal line. After all, a royal heir must have royal blood. Without that, there's no chance of true inclusion in the monarchy. To understand why Buckingham Palace's stance on Archie and Lilibet feels so devastating, we must go back over a century, long before Netflix deals and American talk shows. In 1917, King George V created the letters patent, a legal document that strictly defined who could be called a prince or princess. This wasn't about humiliating Harry's children. It was about protecting the monarchy from chaos, favoritism, and opportunists trying to slip in through the back door. The rules were firm: legitimate royal bloodline, official birth registration within the crown's jurisdiction, and recognition through the Church of England. There are no Hollywood loopholes. No "we're living our truth in Montecito" exemptions. This framework has preserved the monarchy's stability for more than 100 years. But Meghan and Harry treated royal titles like bonus points in a game, believing enough PR spin, Netflix specials, or celebrity pressure could win them back. Unfortunately for them, the monarchy doesn't run on vibes. It runs on precedent. That's why the palace has remained icy. It's not about personal grudges, but about preserving an institution. If the rules are bent once, they risk opening the floodgates, where every celebrity spouse could claim a child deserves a crown. That's not monarchy. That's chaos. And in the monarchy, order is everything. Critics claim Meghan always wanted to be more influencer than Duchess. Once the couple's other ventures began drying up, their children became the next chapter in the image-selling machine. But the palace refused to budge. It reminded them of a brutal truth: royalty isn't a brand you can repackage. It's a system. A system that doesn't care about Spotify contracts or California mansions. And that system slammed the door on Archie and Lilibet. Archie's arrival in 2019 should have been a joyous fairy tale moment, a royal baby welcomed with fanfare. But instead, controversy followed. His birth certificate was mysteriously altered, Meghan's legal name erased, replaced by only her royal title. No explanation, no precedent. Even Diana and Kate kept their names on official documents. Why remove Meghan's? Was it her decision? The palace's? Or something else entirely? That single change unleashed a storm of speculation. Was the palace distancing itself? Was Meghan trying to erase her old identity? And why would such a small detail carry so much weight? Because in monarchy terms, it wasn't small at all. It signaled that Archie's place in royal history wasn't as secure as many believed. And if Archie's birth raised eyebrows, Lilibet's birth turned whispers into thunder. Born in California in 2021, she didn't receive the traditional royal welcome. No hospital steps. No framed announcement at Buckingham Palace. Instead, a press release from Harry and Meghan's PR team. There was no official statement from the Queen. No entry in the palace's records. In the eyes of the Crown, it was as though her birth had never happened. That silence wasn't accidental. It was a statement. By refusing to recognize Lilibet, the palace drew a line. Yes, she's Meghan and Harry's daughter, but she isn't woven into the royal fabric. A royal baptism has always been more than a christening. It's a sacred ritual binding the child to both the monarchy and the Church of England. But Lilibet never received that recognition. Harry and Meghan hosted a California ceremony with friends and celebrities, but the church never recorded it. In the eyes of tradition, it simply didn't count. That omission left Lilibet in limbo, loved by her parents, embraced by Hollywood circles, but invisible in the lineage of monarchy. And without those titles, Meghan and Harry's carefully crafted image begins to crumble. Their documentaries start to look like reality TV confessionals. Harry's memoir loses weight when the institution he criticizes won't even acknowledge his children. Suddenly, Archie and Lilibet aren't heirs denied, they're simply American kids, privileged but outside royal history. And for Meghan, who has built her lifestyle ventures and public speaking on her Duchess identity, that loss is devastating. Without her children being integrated into the monarchy, her brand doesn't stand in the same light as Diana's or Kate's. Harry reportedly made multiple appeals behind closed doors, begging for his children's place in royal history to be secured. But each time, the palace responded with the same cold reminder: rules decide legacy, not feelings. For Harry, this was personal heartbreak carved into law. He knew what inclusion felt like. Now he knows the sting of exclusion, and not for himself, but for his children. And when the palace finally acted, it thundered. Legal filings confirmed what had long been suspected: Archie and Lilibet were cut out. No titles. No succession rights. No royal security. In the monarchy, that isn't just a demotion. It's erasure. Insiders say Prince William, when he becomes king, has no intention of letting Archie and Lilibet ever use HRH titles. His anger toward Meghan and Harry has hardened beyond repair. For the Sussex children, this isn't about being less important. It's about being removed from the story altogether. They may grow up loved, wealthy, and free from palace constraints, but in royal history, they'll always be the heirs who weren't. The monarchy made its choice: survival over sentiment. Heritage isn't negotiable, it's enforced. So the question remains, Did Meghan and Harry ever truly grasp the system they were battling? Or did they believe celebrity power could rewrite centuries of law? The truth is final, the consequences lasting. But as with every royal drama, this chapter is only the beginning.